Every second, a nurse makes a decision that could save a life or put it at risk. Safety isn't just a checklist, it's a promise, a duty, an ethical foundation that holds up every patient interaction. This is a story of what safety truly means in nursing, why it matters, where it fails, and how we can make it better. Because when nurses are safe, patients are too. The International Council of Nurses defines safety as the heart of ethical nursing practice. Nurses aren't just responsible for compassion and competence, they are personally accountable for delivering safe care. But safety isn't only about avoiding mistakes, it's about preventing harm before it happens. It's about creating culture, one built on vigilance, communication, respect, and trust. From hand hygiene to teamwork, from safe staffing to ethical decision making, every act of care is an act of safety. It starts small. A skipped hand wash, a distracted glance at a medication label, a misprogrammed IV pump. One oversight leads to another, and in a matter of minutes, a patient's life is at risk. This is how real world errors happen, not out of neglect, but from stress, pressure, and systems that don't protect the nurse or the patient. The World Health Organization estimates that up to 80% of patient safety incidents are preventable, not because nurses don't care, but because they work in environments that push them to the edge. Safety isn't just about catching mistakes, it's about designing systems that don't let them happen in the first place. Now imagine the same situation, but with one key difference: support. Time to double check, tools to scan barcodes, a team that communicates clearly and listens. This is what a safety culture looks like: empowered nurses, engaged teams, reliable systems. When the environment is safe, nurses make safer decisions. When they feel heard, patients are protected. Because safety isn't a solo act, it's a team value. In 2017, a nurse named Radonda Vaught made a tragic mistake. She administered the wrong medication. Her patient died. Radonda did what many wouldn't. She reported the error immediately, but instead of support, she was charged criminally. This case shook the nursing world, not because of the error, but because of the punishment. It forced us to ask, are we punishing the person or the system? When fear replaces trust, mistakes get hidden. When nurses are afraid to speak up, patients pay the price. To make an error, it is human. To fix the system, meanwhile, it is ethical. Real safety doesn't come from blame, it comes from learning, from leadership, from listening. No matter how skilled you are, no one can work safely in unsafe conditions. Nurses are working longer shifts, caring for more patients, filling in for staff shortages, and carrying the emotional weight of life and death. This isn't sustainable, it isn't ethical, and it isn't safe. Burnout leads to errors, fatigue leads to silence, and silence is the enemy of safety. Protecting nurses is not optional, it is essential for them, for their patients, and for healthcare itself. What happens when a nurse sees something unsafe but stays quiet? Not because they don't care, but because they're afraid. Afraid of blame, of retaliation, of being labeled difficult. That's where psychological safety comes in. It means knowing you can raise a concern and be supported, not punished. It means open doors, respectful teams, and leadership that listens. Without psychological safety, we don't just lose voices, we lose lives. Safety isn't a task on a to-do list. It is who nurses are. It's in every pause before medication, every question asked, every decision to advocate for a patient. From the classroom to the ICU, safety is learned, lived, and led. And with every generation of nurses, it gets stronger. Because this isn't just a profession, it's a legacy. Now imagine delivering safe care in the middle of political instability, with limited electricity, with one nurse for every 20 patients. This is the daily reality in many parts of the world, like Palestine, where nurses navigate checkpoints just to reach their patients. And yet, they persist. Nursing in these conditions is an act of bravery, and safety in these moments is an act of defiance. Leadership sets the tone. When leaders are ethical, teams are safer. When they encourage speaking up, problems get solved. When they promote just culture, people stop hiding and start improving. It's time to stop asking who messed up and start asking how do we prevent this from happening again. Safety isn't about perfection, It's about progress. It's about people. Safety begins and ends with nursing. It is our promise, our purpose, and our power. No matter where you practice, no matter what your title is, you have the ability to make care safer every single day. Listen, speak, protect, lead, because safety is who we are. Safe care is ethical care.